I'm Rick Kahler. Thanks for joining me. A tweet by President Biden on October 20th, 2021 got my attention. He said, "Here's the deal. If you spend $3 on your coffee this morning, that's more than what 55 major corporations paid in taxes in recent years." The president's used this statistic in speeches and interviews 10 times since April, when the Washington Post ran a story headline, "Dozens of America's biggest businesses paid no federal income tax again." If your immediate reaction is outrage, you're in pretty good company. Scores of politicians around the nation are also requoting the same statistic as evidence that we need to immediately pass punishing legislation, raising taxes on these U.S. corporations that are avoiding paying their fair share of taxes because of legal but unfair manipulation of the tax code afforded only to wealthy corporations. The thought that average taxpayers are paying more in taxes than some of America's largest corporations screams of corruption and unfairness. But these headlines are not new. In 2019, the Center for Public Integrity reported at least 60 companies reported that their 2018 federal tax rates amounted to effectively zero or even less than zero, which means they got a rebate. So how do these big companies get away with this? First, while the headlines may give the impression that the same corporations chronically pay no taxes year after year after year, an investigation shows this isn't the case. According to the Tax Foundation, 10 Common Tax Myths Debunked, it's true that in some years, certain corporations, often those that appear profitable, pay zero federal income taxes. But it's not due to any tricks or loopholes. There are several legitimate reasons why a profitable corporation should not pay income taxes. My research found these companies apply legal incentives to reduce taxes that encourage capital investment into the U.S. economy. These incentives are also available, this is important, to most small businesses in the U.S. These techniques are not secrets, they're not evasions, they're not sleight of hand. They were intentionally included in the tax code to encourage businesses to invest in capital improvements and provide jobs to the economy. Now here's how some of the incentives work. One is that businesses that reinvest their profits in equipment and buildings are able to deduct a portion of those expenses. Businesses that receive tax credits for spending on research and development also can deduct those expenses. And like I said, receive tax credits. These credits are incentives to help offset the high risk of the upfront costs of developing new ideas, not all of which pay off. There's a huge risk here, kind of like drilling for oil. Some employees may be partially compensated with company stock rather than cash. So while still a real cost to the company, this incentive minimizes cash outflows while giving employees an opportunity to reap the rewards of their hard work and future profits. If companies lose money in some years, the tax code allows them to spread out the impact of those setbacks by carrying the losses over to future years to offset profits. So they temporarily pay no taxes until the annual profits offset the past losses. This is how a company could not pay tax on profits for 1 year, 2 years, sometimes up to 10 years. I believe President Trump had $1 billion loss he took in 1 year, and he didn't pay any taxes for 10 years. Again, not evasion, completely legal thing in the tax code. We could have a discussion on policy. Maybe we shouldn't allow companies that have losses to offset that on profits. The Congress felt that was really unfair and punishing to do that. But perhaps we could change it. But let's not demonize the corporations and small businesses that do that. I've seen many owners of small businesses use these same incentives, particularly carrying forward the losses that result from essential startup costs and bad years. The corporate tax code generally applies equally to all businesses, big and small. It's meant to encourage small companies as well as large ones to take the risks necessary to create new jobs. As with any headlines or sound bites from political figures, it's a good idea to dig a little deeper before you respond with outrage. Many statements are true, but they're incomplete, meant to paint a picture to forward an agenda or attract attention. A healthy dose of skepticism and objective fact-checking of almost every statement you hear in the press can help all of us maintain a balanced view of reality. Thanks for listening.